So how do you even start off-roading? I'm Kelly, I'm a desert rat, I live in Southern California, and I love taking my Jeep out on the trail. For me, it was a combination of fate and just waking up and deciding to do something different. Here's the fate part. I had outdoor experience because I magically decided to be an outdoor adventure guide in college. And then years later, I ended up inheriting a pretty built up Jeep Rubicon from my dad who passed away. So I had the vehicle, but how was I supposed to learn how to drive it? Well, I started where all big book nerds do, with the manual. Yes, I sat down and I read the manual to my vehicle, and I read the manual to the winch that came on the front bumper of the vehicle. But that was not enough for me, so naturally I went to the second place that all big nerds go to, YouTube. Now, not all off-roading content is created equal in terms of safety and instructional value, so I tried to stick to the bigger accounts like Jeep and Warren Industries, and that's where I learned some of the basics of like four-wheel drive versus all-wheel drive, what a recovery can look like, and what the vast universe of off-road gear is. You're probably like, well, this is all great, Kelly, but so far I've done zero driving of the vehicle. Fair. So next, I mustered up the courage to Google off-road driver training, California, Arizona. And to this day, I am so incredibly grateful that Barlow Adventures popped up. I signed up for, I think it was a 3-day Dune Driving intro course with Nina in Glamis, which is now one of my favorite places in the whole world. And I drove myself to the largest dune complex in North America, not knowing a single person who was going to be there, not really knowing what I was getting into. And that is where I really fell in love with off-road driving. Now, was I a huge scaredy cat? Did I do the saddest little donut you've ever seen in your life? Yes. But after a couple of days of driving exercises and seeing how other vehicles were performing and just being in a group that felt really safe to try new things with, I started to feel so much more confident. And my journey has really come so much farther from there, but that's at least how I got started.